This hurts, this is devastating, but we will recover.
Volunteers from Hope for Heroes typically spend their time helping veterans and military families by collecting donations.
This is not going to defeat us.
On this day, the volunteers lent support to each other as they watched the building that housed the nonprofit burn up.
It's very devastating for all of us, for the veterans that count on us for help.
At around 4:30 in the morning, fire crews were called to the blaze in Wasilla just off Main Street. First responders say the second story, where a single apartment and storage unit were located, was fully engulfed in flames. Fire officials believe that's where the fire started, but it quickly spread to the rest of the building. Central Matsu Fire Chief James Steele says the metal structure design made it extremely difficult to fight the blaze because the heat was insulated. He says crews tried to enter the building twice, but had to retreat because it was too dangerous. After fighting flames for more than 6 hours, the fire was finally considered under control at about 10 a.m. by officials.
We wanted to offer some water and drinks and stuff for the firefighters.
Wow. Well, thank you.
The hard work of the men and women fighting the fire didn't go unnoticed by staff from neighboring businesses.
Being in the insurance business, we really appreciate our firefighters, so we're bringing over water, vitamin water, granola bars, because they've been at this since the wee hours of the morning.
And the work isn't over yet. Fire crews will continue to monitor hot spots, and an investigator will be looking into the cause. Out of the ashes, some are holding on to hope.
Somehow with our community, I know we'll rise again.
Moments after enjoying this view from the air Tuesday afternoon, a pilot and his passenger found themselves in the water.
The owner and pilot of the plane was trying to make a water landing.
A landing on Jim Lake in the Butte that didn't turn out as expected.
From my understanding, there's a shelf out there that they actually landed a little short and landed on a shelf, and then when the shelf dropped off, the aircraft wasn't able to compensate for the change in angle, and it caused the plane to fall off the shelf.
Alaska State Troopers and Matsu Borough EMS came to help. Troopers say the men were able to climb out of the plane and hang on to the floats until rescuers arrived.
100% successful.
Soon they were on land, slightly hurt, but okay. As for the plane,
the owner of the plane will be working on getting the aircraft out of the water as soon as he can.
And this flight, one example of just how quickly things can turn upside down.
I listened to what was being said.
It was supposed to be a message from Governor Bill Walker to Alaska Natives. But it was the crowd that had a message for the governor.
And they deserve to be exonerated.
We are shocked and saddened and grieving because the facts prove them innocent.
On the Fairbanks 4, we're not where we need to be on that.
While the 4 men were petitioning for a new trial in court hundreds of miles away.
Please don't hold back any of your passion or frustration with me as a result of that. You're entitled to that. Because of what you have done, your passion, they are in trial today. They are getting their day in court.
In
Anchorage, their supporters stood in solidarity. The number 4 branching across the room. AFN's co-chair stood in support, urging Governor Walker to fight for the 4 men to be exonerated.
Eugene Vent, Marvin Roberts, Kevin Peace, and George Freese have spent the last 18 years in prison for a crime that they did not commit.
An emotional morning for those hoping for freedom for 4 men.
They are young men who have been unjustly incarcerated. And their families, their communities, all of those people, we have served time with these young men.
Their wrongful conviction was known throughout the Native community for the entirety of this 18 years.
A heavily watched case, setting the tone at one of the biggest gatherings of Alaska Natives.
Thank you.
I find stuff that might be interesting and I
chop it up and use parts of it. This is a rolling ball sculpture. It's made of a bunch of recycled just stuff. It's called One Man's Trash. And it's a takeoff of one man's trash is another man's treasure. So it started out as a bunch of trash, so hopefully it'll be somebody's treasure. It's got a garage door opener in it, parts of one, and parts of a trash compactor and a satellite dish. It does what a lot of Chihuahuas do, you know, they just... This is called Dad's Bell. I call it Dad's Bell. When I was designing and building this aspect, I found out right at the same time my dad had passed away, so that's why I call it Dad's Bell. It's going to be on display at the Great Harvest Bread Company. I envision going to see it where it's going to be on display and just sit and drink a cup of coffee and watch people and their reaction, you know, see how they respond to it. And I would love to have it inspire somebody to build another one, build one of their own, you know.
Okay, here's a vest for you. Class has been going on during the winter break, and it started the 22nd, 23rd December, and this is our final day. You guys gather up kind of around me. We'll have a quick safety talk.
Is that better?
If we get split up, what happens if our groups get split up? We stop. They're big mittens, basically, and they'll keep their hands warm while they ride, because while they're riding, their hands are kind of not moving, and the wind hits them as well, so it'll keep their hands nice and toasty. Your face is going to get cold immediately because you're going 5 to 10 miles an hour, and that makes the wind chill that much colder on your face.
We were fat tire biking out around Campbell Creek Science Center.
So you ready to have a good time? Woo! We're not going to get lost. Yeah! Okay, good. All right, he's got it. Nice. Woo! We just got these fat tire bikes from a grant from Rasmussen Foundation and 907 Bikes, and so now we're getting out into the schools during the school year, and our winter break camp, we're using them now to get the kids outdoors and active.
It was really fun, especially on these fat tire bikes, because they have so much grip and they're just really fun to ride on.
As far as we know, the first program of this kind in the country, so we're the first program to have fat tire bikes that are being used during the winter time and getting kids outdoors. They're starting to get hugely popular, and actually fat tire bikes were created here in Alaska, so it's an Alaska creation. So it's really exciting that we get to bust out the 907 bikes and get the kids out and active. Bikes are really great for Alaska just because it snows a few months of the year, as we all know, so this is a nice way to get out. So you can bike all year round, so we're promoting good health and safety and getting kids outside during the winter time.